Greetings and welcome to Spider-Man Gamma Port's channel. This time, Super Mario World. The cartridge is in playable condition. We'll go ahead and take it apart, clean those contact pads, check the battery, see if it needs to be replaced or not. Yeah, I mean, come on, Super Mario World. Who doesn't know this game by now? This game is amazing. Color combination. Gray goes with gray. Black with black. Blue with black blue. Alright. Yeah, this game introduced the Super Nintendo to me. It really did. I mean, between this and Gradius 3, oh yeah, Super Mario World and Gradius 3. Those are the first two games that I actually played on this console. And, oh, what a glorious combination it was. Those there. They'll probably end up flying everywhere. Right. Yeah, that definitely needed to be cleaned. You can see the tarnish and the verdigris on it. Might be a little bit of flux on that board too. Yeah, we'll get busy cleaning it. I'll clean that shelf. I might even throw that part in the sink. That looked a little grody on the back there. Yeah, give me 1 second here. Yeah, brought it down some so you can see the board a little more. Let's go ahead and do the chipsets too. What do you think about that? You got them? I think you do. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and possibly remove that battery off of this board. I haven't done that in a while, and I want to keep my soldering skills up to date. It's one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it. And I want to keep working on that. I'm sure that's flux right there. Yep. But what we'll do first is we'll clean this board. We'll check it inside the console, see what the save states are. If they're, intact, I may not even change the battery out and just leave it stock. But if the save is kind of like, you can easily get there again, kind of thing. Not many hours on it for playtime. Then I'll go ahead and change it. But look at it, yeah, see, leftover flux. This is the reason why we take them apart and clean them. There's no really, you don't have to, but for me, this is my therapy. This is very therapeutic. I like taking these cartridges apart. I like cleaning them. I also like seeing the chipsets. I like seeing how they were made. See, this right here, this is art to me. This is, what I would like to see up on my wall as an art form is trace layout of a PCB or a board. I've always been fascinated by it since I was a kid. And the vintage 386 PC that I had. I also like to say is my apologies for not having a video up sooner. I've been under the weather lately. We all have this problem around by January or February or something like that, and it's just exhausted. I think the last video I made with the Faxanadu Famicom cartridge really took a lot out of me. I mean, I'm spending a lot of hours on that one. Behind not just beating the game, but cleaning it and then editing all the video, it was a very long day and night. And I knew I should have stopped in the middle of the process and just gave it an extra day before I posted it, because there's a couple minor discrepancies that I would have otherwise not left in the video. But that's all right. I just hope that everybody that watched it was like, that's awesome. How to take apart a Famicom cartridge. Yeah, it's a tricky thing. It really is. Excuse me. Yeah, I gotta reposition myself here so I don't look at this through the viewfinder. Yeah, but I remember the first day of playing this. And of course, I had to be Luigi. Because my brother was the first player. And then every time that he'd kick the bucket, I'd be sitting there playing for a much longer playthrough until I'd of course, beat a stage, and then you're taking turns anyway. But it's like he would lose a life, and then I would beat that same stage. And the best part about being second player is that you've already seen somebody playing that stage, so you know what's coming up next. He didn't understand that because he was just so greedy about being first player and having that prestige of being the first player, and he didn't understand the concept of that. If you're the second player like Luigi, you get to see the stage prior to you actually playing it, and the likelihood of you beating that stage would be greater than if you had not. I don't know, man. It's a concept that I just developed over the years, and I was like, yeah, you go ahead and play first player. You go ahead, play it, go for it. I'll sit back, relax, wait for you to die, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna beat that stage now. Yep, that's gonna be the stage that I'm just gonna excel through. And in the next one, you go ahead and die on that one too, and I'll just beat the next stage as well, and just keep going on. And then by the time that they are already lost all their lives, you're just playing the game by yourself. And then by that point, they're like, well, we gotta reset it so I can play. Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna clean up real quick. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I think I discussed that last time when I was playing the game of Gradius 3. I was the same way. I was like, yeah, you go ahead and play first player. And tell me what it's like, or show me what it's like first, and then I'll play a second, and I'll just go ahead and keep going and keep going and keep going, and not have any issues. And that's pretty gnarly in there yet. Makes me really want to change that battery out, but I want to find a way so I could take the battery out of those terminals and leave the terminals still on the board so it's still stock. I mean, like, I do not want to change the collectability of these carts, because this is my secondary cart. I have 2 of these Super Mario Worlds. Of course, I have Super Mario All-Stars too in its own cart. I don't have the Super Mario World All-Star cart. I would like to have that one because Luigi's different in that one. He spits out fireballs. He doesn't just flick them out. He spits them out, which is a very interesting animation effect. Not kidding you. Go ahead, look it up. Yeah, it's like only on All Stars Mario World or Plus Mario World does Luigi do that. Wow, this is really leftover flux. This is one gummed up cartridge. We're getting there though. I think one of the most, I don't know, I can't even say a really complicated stage that I ever had with this particular game. I mean, they all seemed very manageable. I think the only one that I'm really having problems with out of all the Marios would be on the Wii U, the Super Mario Wii U plus Luigi. Yeah, there's one star that is, or a golden star coin, something like that, medallion, whatever it is. It's so difficult to get it. It's like you have to be a bubble on second player just to get that particular coin. And I know there's a trick to it. I haven't figured it out yet. And then on the Wii version of it too, that there was one coin that was just, it was just nauseating to try to get it. So I was just like, I'm not even gonna go for it anymore. As long as I beat the game, I'm cool. And eventually, I'll probably turn on my Wii and do a quick little gameplay of that and a review of playing that game. It's fun. I mean, same thing with the Mario parties. Those Mario Party games. Oh, nobody talks about them anymore. And I was like, those are awesome. The mini games are my favorite part of Mario Party. And I'm not talking about the competitive ones either. I'm talking about the ones where you need to play as a team. And those are just epic. Alright, let's see how this turned out now. Does it look pretty good? Click. Get that focus. They look pretty good, don't they? Not too bad, but you see that cart to board wear line. Every one of these old cartridges have that. I've been watching other people's channels too that click that clean these games, and when they do clean them, they don't take into consideration this particular type of damage, and then their cartridges don't work or don't play. It's because these traces have been damaged over the years, and you could check them for continuity. That's not too difficult. I need to get myself a multimeter that does that, an audio one. My multimeter does work for continuity, but it's not an audio signal. You don't hear it as it's working, and I would really like to have that so it'll beep while I am working on some of these. But none of my carts are like that. None of them are damaged. None of them are just completely ruined. My Genesis games now, when I start taking those apart, they might need some extra, maybe a little bit of TLC, some conformal coatings things like that might be necessary on those. But give me 1 second here. Yeah, I had to raise it up just a little bit on the, for the camera's distance because it was giving me a lot of that lens out of focusing thing, whatever it does. I don't like it, but it does it on the TV screen a lot too on this particular camera. When I'm recording my live games at the end of these, it's getting annoying. Eventually, I'll change out this camera and get a different one. I've been looking at the Canon brand cameras, the XLRs. I was thinking maybe just use an XLR camera and get a really nice tripod too, because the one I'm using right now is a little flimsy. I mean, it's great for travel, getting out into the garage, recording things like that. But I would like to have a much more just a much more better camera setup than I'm using right now. I'll get there. It's in the works. Oh yeah, that's why we clean it. That's the tarnish, and that's flux. Alright, let me dry these contacts off real quick before we hit it with the eraser. I gotta tell you, man, Super Nintendo games are so much easier. This is like cleaning a Famicom cartridge. The contact pads are much smaller. It's less time. It's just a lot less time and a lot less effort involved on getting these clean and polished up. Yeah, well, they're newer too. I mean, 93. A lot of my Nintendo games though are 93 as well. So it's different quality, or yeah, well, maybe it might be. It might be a different type of copper being used here. I don't know, man. You like the Super Mario. I think my favorite out of all the Super Mario levels in this game would be the Boo stages. You know, the ghost houses. I just absolutely love them. They offer you a secondary way of, or even a third way of beating the stage. And see, that's the way I like playing Mario, is that Mario should be, or it can be, like hidden things in them. Like each stage should be a little bit of hidden secrets, things like that. I don't know. That's the way I liked it. I like the stages that allowed you to hit a button and allow you to use those buttons as what was it, lives? You get lives, 1-ups, I mean, or mushrooms, flowers, capes, things like that. Yeah. Yeah, the exclamation points. I thought that was a nice process. Oh no, no! I just remembered it. Sorry. Again, I apologize. Hey, Yoshi's Star World. You know what I mean? The star levels. Oh, some of those were just brutal. Okay, give me 1 second to clean up, and then we'll go back onto that topic here. Yeah, going back from where I left off. Sorry, I did off camera. I did hit this up with the other eraser off camera. Yeah, the Star Road. That's what I was referring to. Is like, oh, that is some fun stages. And then when you finish all that, you get to the special. That special is cool. You get tubular, radical. I don't remember all their names, but you know which ones I'm talking about. Gnarly. There's a few of them in there were just Yeah, yeah, they were definitely special. That's all right. And when you finish it, the whole entire game changes color. Not a spoiler alert, but it's a spoiler alert. It was very cool. I'm gonna have to say it. Yoshi. Being able to play Yoshi was awesome. I like that when you eat so many things in game, apples, whatever's on the tree, characters, the enemies that you're going to be able to eat, and then you can actually hatch out an extra life. I thought that was a very nice little trick of the game, or a part of it. And then the other forms of Yoshi, where they got different colors, you can use them for flying. Like there's a yellow, the green one that we normally would see, the purple one, blue one, red one. And there's all these different color Yoshis, and they all have unique attributes to them. But my favorite has to be the flying Yoshi. I like the flying Yoshi the best. For whatever he or she eats a was it a Koopa shell? Is it Koopa Troopa? Yeah, Goombas are the other guys that you pounce on, but the Koopa Troopas, you have a shell in your mouth, and then as long as that shell is still in Yoshi's mouth before he swallows it, you get to fly around. And yeah, that's probably by far my favorite part of the game, besides Mario or Luigi using the cape and getting to master that cape. I think there's only 2 stages where I was able to actually master the cape, and where you didn't have to worry about too much of the time running out. But if you mess up in the game and you've already beaten that particular stage, all you ever have to do is hit start and select, and you can, boop yourself right back out again. So I think this is pretty good. I think we are done. I'm going to go ahead and put it inside the console. We'll check to see those saves. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a nice looking polish. I mean, I know I could probably get myself a nice, like a wet sanding type style thing, and get it really, really polished up, which I might do eventually one of these months, or weeks, whatever I feel like up to it, and I might just start working on polishing copper. I'll probably work on a penny first. Work on a penny first, see how long in duration that it lasts with that luster on it, and yeah, we'll do that. But let's go ahead and put this back together again, and I'm going to check inside the console, check to see what the save state's like. If it's not anything worth saving, I'll go ahead and pull the battery off of it, and then we'll replace the battery with that battery terminal. So see you guys in a little bit. Hey everyone, I'm back. Here's the cartridge that we just cleaned. Yeah, I'm not replacing the battery in this one. Nope. We could check this one out. I'll clean this one here in a little bit. We'll change the battery in that one perhaps. But yeah, this one is the one I was referring to on the color coordination, where everything's changed in color, and all of the start road has been completed. Yeah, this is my original copy. And this is the special road I was talking about. Gnarly. Tubular. Way cool. Awesome. Groovy. Mondo. Outrageous. And funky. And that's how it changes the colors. It's a very cool setup. I like it. But I am definitely not going to change the battery in this particular cartridge. No. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next cartridge here in a second. I'm back. This is the cartridge we just cleaned. We just checked the saves on it, and yeah, it's way too important to change the battery on this one until it absolutely is necessary. So, and here's the other cart. You can tell by the difference between cart stylization and cart covers. So, we'll clean this one and then again check it inside the console and see what the saves are on it. And if this one has high levels of saves, one of them will have to sacrifice. Put a new battery terminal in it, because I really want to see what it, to save these for a very, very long time. I want to put this in there and keep the battery entirely away from the PCB. So yeah, let's take this one apart and clean it. It's always nice having a secondary cartridge of the game to, let's say, not experiment on, but to have backups of. So that way you can have extra saves. You have 6 different saves, not just the 3. And I think this is probably an older cartridge too, since its stylization is of the original, before they did the Game Genie lockout kind of thing on it. I don't know. I'm speculating there, but I've noticed the difference between the two cartridges. Like my my version of, look at that one. It looks nice. Sorry, my version of Contra 3. It has some implementation to prevent it from using or utilizing the game enhancer in it. Wow, this one's got that same residue of flux on it, doesn't it? Right in here. I was going to say less cart to wear. One thing I do have to say about these cartridges is that even with all of this cleaning, my save games have never ever failed. Meaning that I can clean all of this flux off these boards, like right around the terminals and stuff. I can get all this all polished up and cleaned, and it never shorts it out to where it's not working or it loses its saves. I'm knock on wood for that one, but it's like, still, it has never happened, and I'm just so grateful for that, because it's just, I would say, added security. Peace of mind, like added peace of mind that you know that your cartridge is not going to be ruined by opening them up and cleaning them. This one doesn't look like it's been so wore out. I believe this is the one that I picked up with the console as a collection, but see what I mean? Looks can be deceiving when it comes to verdigris and grime. A lot of that grime that we're probably getting off of this is between the actual contact pads, because when people clean these, you're going to use one of those 1-up cards. what you're doing is you're leaving dust, going to be leaving dust in between these little grooves. And whenever you put it into your console, it may or may not reintroduce those contacts in your console to that dirt and grime, and it might smear all over it. I, I don't know, and it's just gonna bake on breath. And that's just the way I view it and the way I look at it. It's that came from a smoker. I'm kidding. I don't know. The console itself was just absolutely immaculate. We've taken it apart. You've seen what it looks like. It's a fantastic looking machine for its age. Oh yeah, yeah. Even the even the outer shell didn't even have a discoloration or nothing on it. I think this part, I'm just going to fast forward through it so that you guys don't have to see me scrubbing away on another cartridge. Unless that's what you are here for. Here to watch me do this, because man, I love it. Every time I take one of these apart, it puts a smile on my face. I think another thing that really impresses me is that every time I clean one of these, before I used to put it inside my console before cleaning them, and I was like, you really want to reintroduce that grime back into your console. But before that, yeah, they were spotty whether or not they would play or they would stay playing. You could be playing the game for a good long time, then all of a sudden they just cut out and reset. Like, what happened? Oh, come on, no, no! I was so far. I got so far, and the game didn't save. Oh no! Yeah, yeah. It was that unreliability behind these games that really got me to take these apart and start cleaning them, and now it's just a contrast of night and day. They're incredible of how much they better they play. Like how much this actually improves. Now, I wouldn't think that it improves their longevity as much as it improves their ability to maintain that contact in the console. These pads on these things. Collect all that dirt and grime up out of the. This works so well. Oh. All right, give me a second, clean up. Yeah, speaking of the CR 2030 or 2032. Speaking of these batteries, I know that there's a rechargeable variant of these particular cells. It's like a LR or L something or other. It's the rechargeable version of them, and it's for the Dreamcast. And what I'm thinking here shortly is I'm going to pick up the one for the Dreamcast, and I'm going to replace that battery on that one, and I'm going to use an actual rechargeable battery. I'm not going to put a resistor or a diode resistor kit thing in it and then change it from being stock. I really want my console to be just fully functional. So that will definitely be a project here in the near future. and I'll pick that upgrade kit here in a little bit. Wow, this one really shined up nice. Click. This is definitely going to be looks good. Awesome. That's definitely going to play right away. I'm going to definitely take the time now to say thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you all. It's greatly appreciated for subscribing and making Spider-McGavinport much greater than it had ever been before. We're not just a channel, we're going to be a family. And yeah, I just want to express my gratitude. Thank you all so very much. Gnarly. That Star Road stuff. Oh. Okay, my sergeant's going to do a quick inspection of these particular components, make sure there's no vertebrae growing on them. We've seen that Super Mario Brothers 3 had that problem. Okay. Had to let this dry anyway. And I also was looking at that Q1. You know what? I looked it up and I seen it. I was like, is that what it was really? Why would they use Q? And I always thought that Q was something else, but no. If I remember correctly, it was transistor. That's what a Q is. And you got diodes, and then yeah, Q is like transistor or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the Q stands for, but you know, on the printed circuit board. There, you know, things change over the years too, and I don't remember what it is. Well, this is 1990. The other one was 93. Okay, yeah, well, we see the difference in the boards too. I should almost tear the other one apart just to do a side by side. We will here in a little bit. Let me go ahead and not digress too far. I want to get this all scrubbed and cleaned. Give me a second here. I gotta bring out that eraser some. Be nothing worse than to having that thing come down and actually grind against the board. I heard the other one had that. I hit it once and I was like, oh, ooh, can't be watching it through the viewfinder on the camera. I gotta be watching it in person. You get better depth perception. Oh, and I can't stress this enough. Make sure that you wear your safety glasses. You really don't want this material getting up and into your eye, especially that you know that somebody's been breathing and blowing on these boards. All that could easily be, you know, like a contaminant of some sort. And we all know that it's not bacteria so much because this is copper, maybe copper with silver. It might be antibacterial properties to it. I'm not sure, but there still could be viruses that somebody had in their breath blowing on these cartridges. Not this one, but I'm saying like may have at one point in time. That's why we clean them first and sanitize them with rubbing alcohol. Yeah, 91%. Use 91%. I like using 99%, and then I dilute it with some distilled water, and it seems to really work well. And I do it properly. Usually, I don't have the distilled water one mixed when I'm working with ones with batteries because I really don't want them to short out and ruin the saves on the games. That's why I haven't had an issue with it. I've been very cautious with that process. All right, I'm clean up. Give me a second. Hey, everybody. All right, so here's the difference between the one we just cleaned. You can see all the polish, and this one I'm still going to be buffing out yet. Here's this board versus this one's board. You see the difference between the two? You have the 1993, and then you have the 1990 version of it. Here, let me go ahead and I'm just going to move them up and down so that you can see them. That is just absolutely fascinating. Both the same game, just different PCB layout. Cool. Alright, give me a second. Alright, I'm back. I was happy to be able to share that with you guys because I thought that was really quite fascinating to see two dissimilar PCBs. Same game, of course. We've done this with other ones too. Reve, non-Reve. It was, what was there? It was Super Mario Brothers 2. It was Double Dragon. And, what was the other one? Life Force? Yeah. That each cartridges, they all had a something unique to them as they changed the revision or as they're manufactured by date. I noticed that this one's silk screen is a little darker too. As it has gold for the values, if that's silk screen. It seems like this one's, I was going to say the conformal coating on it, where the solder mask is much more durable. You don't see that wear line on this one, like you do on the other one. There's a lot less solder mask issue with that cart to board wear line. No, I don't know if there's any major difference between this particular game versus the other one. But if this one has the save states that are, impressively high on there, up there too, I might not even change the battery even on this one. I don't see the necessity between it, or for it, especially if you're going to be taken away from the game's stock. And the save still save. I was like, why do it? I think this looks really good though. Click. It's like, don't mind the hangnail. I got that from a cardboard box. I'm trying to get it just right here so I can. This isn't going to shine up as nice. That's alright. That side did. There we go. A little bit more scrubbing there and it was fine. Excellent. Alright, let's go check it out inside the console real quick. See you guys in a few. Oh yeah, we're changing the battery in this one. No problem. Alright, give me a second. We'll go ahead and get the soldering iron all warmed up and we'll definitely change the battery in this one. Hey everyone. Sorry about the fan. So I have a replacement Maxwell 2032 battery. Here's the battery terminal. Inspect the board real quick. See where the positive side is at. And of course we know that this terminal right here is going to be the positive. And it even says positive right there. So when we see it this way, this will be the positive terminal and this will be negative. An outer casing on this is positive, so this will be going this direction like this. In there. Let me get the top cover real quick to make sure that it closes properly. Yeah, I think that will do just fine, especially when we have the thicker gauged wire that I'm planning on using right here to actually wire the terminals together. Right. let's see what we can do about getting this all squared away. Okay, do I need my side cutters. I got the nice flush cut ones. I'll give myself just a little bit of extra. So I can do what I need to do. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Hey everybody, I'm back. Trying to get everything all positioned properly, and let's go ahead and apply some flux down. It's like you can never have enough of this stuff. Being careful here. I'm going to remove the battery first, and I don't want this splatting everywhere into the cartridge. We've already experienced that. We don't need to experience it again. And all I'm going to do this time around is just remove the actual solder right now. Give me a second. I gotta move a couple things out of the way here. I have a limited workspace with the fans going around. I don't want to be breathing any of these fumes in. This thing's going to suck up a lot of heat. I'm going to use my solder sucker on it. I'm going to crank up the heat on my soldering iron real quick here. That worked. Great. That's going to be perfect. wonderful. Couldn't have worked even any bit better than I had expected it to. Give me 1 second. Not yet. Getting there. some progress. And I'm just working on this one now. It's slow going with the camera going, recording it. But yeah, I was able to at least get this to this point. All right. Hey everyone. So yeah, it's out. Oh, that is so satisfying. Seriously. It is out. Now I'm going to clean this area up. I'll put a nice thin layer of solder back down, and I will attach the short length of wire, and then I'll put the little terminal on, and yeah. Yeah, it took a little while. I really wanted to be careful. I didn't want to scorch the board. This is all just leftover flux, so nothing to worry about there. I didn't want to short anything out. I didn't want to cause any major issues. I didn't want to absolutely ruin this, because this is the stock stuff that goes into it, right? And when I part with this cartridge, I'm going to bring that and leave that with it. You know, like this is going to go with it, so that you have all your stock parts. Just saying. I'm all about preservation of these particular games. But yeah, I'm going to clean this all up and we'll keep going. Why don't you all tell me how your day is going, because mine is going absolutely amazing. This is incredible. Well, I'm going to turn that down now. I don't need it up to that high anymore for heat. Where is it at? Okay, there we go. Before I do that, I'll put a little bit of this. Just a little bit, not too much. Sorry about that. See what I mean about just being flux? I really didn't want to close that off, but when I put the wire on, I'll be fine. All right, give me a second. I got you. I have to strip that wire real quick. All right, I'm back. And no, I'm not going to solder it inside the container here. I'm just trying to line this all up so that it looks almost a spot on. Yeah, what do you think about that? And then when I solder it together, it'll have a little bit of play, so I can put the shell back over the top of it. because you're going to want to make sure that this little area right here is open so that it clips together. But yeah, cool. I know it's cold right now. That's okay. I'll come back over it again. I gotta turn my soldering iron up. There, it finally worked. Took a little bit to get the heat there. Yeah, it's taken a long time to get all warmed up there. All I'm doing right now is just trying to make it look a little nicer. I'll get back to it. But yeah, we'll put a battery inside that terminal now. As we have positive, positive, negative, negative, and as it shows, this is how it was in there. Positive, positive. And we put the battery in like that. Awesome. Hey everyone. Alright, so the finished project. Looks pretty good. yeah, this broke right here. It wasn't from me, but it was from back in the day. So what I'll probably do is just leave it right inside there. So that later when I want to, I could always touch that up if I need to. But yeah, so right now this is where I have this for the location. I moved the wire and I looped it over. And then now I could put a piece of foam if I need to down where that's at. So I go figure now it's going to be difficult to put it back together again. No, it was just me. That was a lot of work. My brain's drained and fried from soldering. It took forever. The temperature that I had to have it at was just right. Otherwise, this particular brand of solder won't melt. You know, it won't. You know, it'll just keep solidifying on me the entire time working on it. Yeah, it was just. It was something else. Let's just put it that way. It was a struggle. And here's the first part of it. This was the original. Look at that struggle, man. Look at that. That's just terrible. That's that really, really cheap solder. And when you use really cheap solder, this is the outcome. It just, ugh. So yeah, I had to grab a different, a new one of these and put that in there. But yeah, let's go ahead and put the battery in there and put it inside the console and give it a shot. Hey everyone, I'm back this time. Super Mario World. We just replaced the battery in it. You hear that little piece of plastic? It was part of the bracket that kept the PCB in there. I left it inside of the cartridge. Here we go. Of course, it wiped out any save states that would be on there. But let's see if we can get a quick game going here, and we'll save it. I had it at angles so that you could see the console running at the same time, but it doesn't seem like it wants to do that today. That's what I was referring to. to save it. Okay, turn the console off now. Excellent. Battery is working fine. Time will tell. It might be another 20 years before it needs to be replaced again. That's fantastic. Probably longer than that. More like 20, 30. Yeah, somewhere around there. But yeah, thank you all so very much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Be healthy. Stay safe. Happy gaming, everyone.